In the crowded halls of Oakhaven High, Ethan Morales was a ghost in a zip-up hoodie. He moved through the world like a whisper, careful not to disturb the air around those who mattered. To Lena Reyes, he was simply the boy in the third row of biology, a blur of quietude she never quite focused on. Since freshman year, Ethan had memorized the way the sunlight caught the copper in her hair, loving her from the safety of the shadows. One Tuesday, Lena's world spilled across the linoleum. Her notebook burst open, scattering months of frantic notes. Ethan was there in a heartbeat, gathering the papers with trembling hands. As he handed them back, Julian, a boy whose laugh always sounded like breaking glass, shoulder-checked him. "Careful, Morales," Julian sneered. "Don't get your invisibility on her." Lena took the notebook with a distracted thanks, her eyes already following Julian's joke. Ethan felt the sting of being unseen more than the shove. Ethan saw what the others didn't. He saw the way Lena's shoulders slumped when she thought no one was looking, and the ink stains on her fingers from her double shifts at the corner cafe. He followed her from a distance, not out of malice, but out of a desperate wish to carry her heavy bags. He watched her through the cafe window, leaning against the counter as she stared at a pile of hospital bills, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears for her father. The school's advanced lab fee was a wall Lena couldn't climb. Ethan sat in the school office, clutching the envelope of cash he had saved for a new winter coat and decent shoes. He waited until the hallway was empty before approaching Ms. Holloway at the front desk. "For Lena Reyes," he whispered, sliding the money across the counter. "Please, tell her it was a grant. Don't tell her it was me." His help became a silent rhythm. When he saw Lena's laptop screen flickering and dying in the library, he waited until she went to find a charger, then performed a quick, expert reset he'd practiced on his own broken gear. He left a small, handwritten note tucked into her locker. "The stars are brightest when the night is darkest. Keep going." He didn't sign it. He just wanted to see her smile again. At lunch, Julian decided Ethan was an easy target for his boredom. He tripped Ethan in the courtyard, sending his meager sandwich into the dirt. "Say something, Morales. Are you even real?" Julian laughed. Lena was standing only a few feet away, her eyes meeting Ethan's for a fleeting, painful second before she looked away, paralyzed by the social cost of intervention. That night, Ethan used his last few dollars to anonymously pay for Lena's family's medicine at the local pharmacy. Ethan's own home was a place of quiet struggle. His father's old silver watch sat on the nightstand, a ticking memory of better times. But when he heard Lena crying behind the school gym about an emergency electricity bill, Ethan knew what he had to do. He walked to the pawn shop on 5th Street and placed the watch on the velvet tray. Mr. Aris, the shopkeeper, sighed. "You sure, kid?" Ethan nodded, his heart heavy but his mind clear. The rain was a cold, gray curtain when Lena's bike chain snapped blocks from home. She sat on the curb, defeated, until a shadow fell over her. Ethan didn't say a word. He simply knelt in the oil-slicked puddle and began to work. His fingers were stained black with grease, and the rain soaked through his thin hoodie. Lena watched him, her brow furrowed. "Why are you helping me?" she asked softly. Ethan didn't look up, his focus entirely on the rusted links. Curiosity turned into a quest. Lena visited the hospital billing office, determined to find the anonymous donor who had cleared her father's mounting debt. Nurse Elena looked at the records and then at the girl's desperate face. "I'm not supposed to say," Elena whispered, "but the boy who came in, he had grease under his fingernails, and he was wearing a very thin sweater for such a cold day." Lena's heart stuttered as the image of Ethan in the rain flashed through her mind. Lena found him far from the school hallways. He was at a shipping warehouse on the edge of town, moving heavy crates under the harsh yellow glow of industrial lights. He looked exhausted, his frame leaner than she remembered. "Ethan," she called out, her voice echoing against the corrugated metal walls. He froze, a heavy box in his arms, looking like a deer caught in the headlights of a truth he wasn't ready to face. Why? Lena asked, her voice trembling as she walked toward him. The fees, the medicine, my father's bills, you gave up everything. Ethan set the box down slowly. He looked at his worn-out shoes, then finally at her. I've watched you carry the world on your shoulders for years, Lena, he said, his voice steady for the first time. I didn't need you to see me. I just wanted your life to be a little bit lighter. Lena felt a sob rise in her throat, realizing she had overlooked the most beautiful heart she had ever known. The following Monday, the school hallway felt different. Ethan walked toward his locker, expecting the usual invisibility, but a hand caught his. Lena stepped out from the crowd, lacing her fingers through his for everyone to see. When Julian started to smirk, Lena leveled him with a gaze so cold he actually stepped back. This is Ethan, she said, her voice ringing with pride. For the first time in his life, Ethan Morales wasn't a ghost. He was seen, he was loved, and he was home.